Mikayla. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So my name is Amy. I'm going to be doing your intake today. It's a pleasure to meet you. We have a few things to go over before we get started, if that's okay.
The main thing that we want to cover is confidentiality.
The main thing that we want to cover is confidentiality. I think it's important for you to know that anything that you say here and with me is confidential. I will not share it with anyone, and this is a safe place for you to talk. The only exception to that would be if you were going to harm yourself or harm somebody else, then it would be required of you to share that with some other people.
So tell me a little bit about what brings you here.
So tell me a little bit about what brings you here today.
Well, I am my children's school guidance counselor, or one of their teachers talked to the guidance counselor. They're a little bit concerned, just because the kids started coming to school and they seem stressed, I guess. And
One day I had their conferences.
And I had
They go to their after school program.
they go to their after school program, and the conferences were at 6, so they just grabbed them up. So yeah, I just grabbed some drinks with some friends after work, and then I showed up. So I guess that they were a little concerned.
They were concerned that you showed up and grabbed some drinks.
But yeah, I was okay. I guess they could just. I guess to them it was a problem, but I was like, fine. We just had dinner and grabbed some drinks.
Okay.
With some
Do you use that as a
It
way
was
to
just nice because we had had.
it was just nice because we had a pretty rough day. We had a pretty rough just staff meeting, and the boss kind of came down hard on all of us. So we just kind of were like, let's just go out, grab some dinner, some appetizers, and just like relax because that was a pretty rough staff.
Tell me a little more about your children.
I have 3 kids, so they are 15, 13, and 12. The oldest is a boy and the 2 are girls. They're great.
How are they doing in school?
Derek's doing the best he can as a 15-year-old. He's just kind of like, I don't care anymore. He used to love it. He used to love science. And he used to love being in theater. And he would go all the time, but now he's just with his friends. Not really, just hanging with his friends. Abby and Elizabeth, they are little gems. They love school still. Friends. They love going with their friends to the mall. And they are just like your typical 12, 13-year-old girls. Doing what they enjoy. Abby loves history. And Elizabeth is ready to be a football star at the high school.
That's amazing.
We're pushing for that. We're excited. She's really excited. 2 more years for her, and she's to go up there.
Tell me a little bit about their dad.
So he's like in the picture, kind of. Was divorced for about like 2.5 years. Been finalized for about 2.5 years. Been separated for about like 7. And
I guess he's like their dad.
I guess he's like their dad because
And he does the
created
fun
them.
things with that.
And he does the fun things with them. There's not a whole lot of parenting there. So raising 3 kids on your own is something interesting.
Raising them on your own, it sounds like you consider yourself a single mom then.
Yeah, I would say so.
That does sound pretty stressful.
It can be sometimes, yeah.
So going back a little bit to the night that you picked the kids up and you had a few drinks, you felt like you were okay to drive that night?
Yeah, they weren't even like drinks. They were just like had like a few
And they were
beers.
super spaced out.
And they were super spaced out, and I like constantly drink water. And we had eaten, and it was, I don't know, it wasn't like a bad thing. They ended up like calling his dad to pick them up. Like their dad was at work, so it didn't even really matter. I don't know. They were like super worried about it.
How often do you think you're drinking?
Usually not between.
Usually not between like before 6. It's usually like a glass of wine with dinner, maybe like a few glasses before bed, or like some beer or something, just like casual, just like nighttime drink.
So nightly.
Yeah, probably. A few before bed.
Are you worried at all about that? The frequency of your drinking?
No,
still get up every day.
I mean, I
my kids. I
still get up every day, take care of my kids. I don't. I mean, if I don't
have the alcohol,
have to, like, if I don't have the alcohol, that's okay. Like, I can still sleep. It just takes longer to get to sleep. So I figure if I could just like fall asleep,
kind of a little bit of a wine snob too.
kind of a little bit of a wine snob too. So I like to try all the different wines. My friends like to get them for me for holidays and birthdays. So I like to, do a little wine tasting every night to find all the different kind of things that I like.
Very nice. And how about the rest of your downtime? How about the rest of your downtime? What do you do then?
I don't have a lot of downtime with my kids at school and helping them with their homework and getting them to sporting events. And, they have a lot of travel thing that they do. They're all pretty involved, and they have to go across the state a lot for like traveling sports games or academic events. So like I'm proud of them and all, but I don't. So even the weekends, I don't really have a whole lot of downtime.
How often did you see their father? How often did you see their father?
Probably like their birthdays, and maybe like one weekend a month. They like pick them up and go to like a fair or something.
Do they look forward to that?
The two girls do.
The two girls do. Taylor just really wants to hang out with his friends. He doesn't really care anymore. He's usually in his room anyways.
Right.
So
Can be tough. Teenagers can be tough.
yeah, they like to do their own thing.
What else would you like to tell me about your life right now? What else would you like to tell me about your life right now?
Work's going well, except the boss is like cranky old bat. I just think that, I don't know, they were just concerned and told me to go here.
Those sound like you're under pretty significant. Those sound like you're under pretty significant stress.
I guess it's supposed to be part of being a parent. When you choose to be a parent, you kind of like decide that your life isn't your life anymore, it's your kids.
We certainly don't decide to do it alone. We certainly don't decide to do it alone initially, I guess.
No. That definitely wasn't the plan, but
My mom was a single mom.
my mom was a single mom, my grandma was a
It's
single
not like they
mom,
don't know what it's like. So
it's not like they don't know what it's like. So
their grandma, she's super
my grandma, she's super old now, but she
much.
still is very much there for my kids. So that's nice.
Abby's like her best friend.
Abby's like her best friend. They like have tea all the time when we go over.
So that's nice.
So that's nice.
But they get it.
But they get it. They get what it's like to be a single mom. It's not like I didn't know people were single parents. I grew up with single parents.
It sounds like you have some nice family support. It sounds like you have some nice family supports.
My mom, my grandmother.
Yeah, I mean, my mom and my grandmother are great. My brothers are something else, but when our brother's something else. So,
My mom, my grandmother.
yeah, my mom and my grandmother are great. We don't.
That's really it. I mean,
Yeah, that's really it. I mean, we don't really talk to our dad. It's kind of like hasn't been a thing in like 30 years.
he's got his own family.
He's got his own family. I don't really deal with that.
Grandfather,
And then my grandfather, I never met him there. I don't really know if he was ever there. My mom doesn't talk about him a lot, so I don't really know a whole lot.
Is anyone else in your family concerned? Is anyone else in your family concerned about the quantities that you're drinking?
No, I mean,
My grandma used to always joke.
my grandma used to always joke. My grandma used to give us wine when we'd go over anyways. Like when we were younger, she was like, "Here, you have some." Like, don't tell your mom. And she was like the cooler of my house. But my mom always had like a glass of whiskey before bed. So it was like
It's always just been like culture in our family.
it's always just been like culture in our family to like wine at the night with like a glass of wine or whiskey, I guess, or whatever. It's like our go-to, whatever you enjoy.
That's common with many families, a glass of something before you go to bed. It sounded like you were drinking a little bit more than that, though, maybe.
Usually just keep pouring myself glasses of wine and watching Jeopardy until I fall asleep.
Kids don't even go to bed till like 11:30. So
The kids don't even go to bed till like 11:30, so I'm not out until about 2.
Are you drinking it all during the day?
Depends on what you call day.
Depends on what you call day.
Sometimes like after work, like I'll go.
Sometimes like after work, like I'll go with my coworkers before the kids get out of school, before I go pick them up.
Frequent would you say that?
We
How
go out, like,
frequent
once or
would you say that is?
We go out like once or twice a month.
Okay.
And then
Sometimes I need like that little pick me up.
sometimes I need like that little pick me up, and I'll just like make some hot chocolate for the day.
But that doesn't really like affect my work.
But that doesn't really like affect my working. It's just like my breakfast.
What goes in the hot chocolate? What goes in the hot chocolate?
Yeah, but it's not like a lot.
Yeah, but it's not like a lot, and it's not even like it doesn't affect my working at all.
What do you do for work?
Um,
What do you do for work?
Grocery store. Part of that.
Work at a grocery store, part of the like management team for the stock.
How long have you been doing that? How long have you been doing that?
Probably since the divorce. Was
Probably since the divorce was finalized.
worked
I just took a lot of time off. I worked in like a clinical setting at a nursing home. But then I take a lot of time off, and they were not happy about that. So I had to find a new job. But luckily, I got to start in kind of like upper level management. So I deal with like inventory and things like that.
And did they give you some flexibility for being home with the kids?
Not too much. Sometimes I have to take those overnight shifts.
Not too much. Sometimes I have to take those overnight shifts, and my neighbor has to come over and watch
But
the
you know, they're
kids.
getting old enough that I can just like.
But you know, they're getting old enough that I can just like leave them out
It's not really a big deal.
for a few hours. It's not really a big deal.
Derek's pretty good. So
Derek's pretty good. They all have cell phones. They can all get in contact with me. I only work like 20 minutes down the road.
it's a small town. So
So it's not too bad. And it's a small town, so everyone's looking out for everyone.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Takes a village, right?
Yeah.
You feel that you're exhibiting any symptoms of depression? Sounds like you're dealing with
I mean, I
a
don't
lot.
sleep, so I'm always tired.
I mean, I don't sleep, so I'm always tired. But that's just like a,
It's just part of being a parent.
yeah, like, it's just part of being a parent.
How many hours are you sleeping? How many hours are you sleeping a night?
Like 5.
Which is more than I could say for.
Which is more than I could say for some of my
I
friends.
know
my
my
kids.
kids are watching TV.
And I know my kids are watching TV. There's no way they're sleeping enough either.
You know, it's like,
You
when you
know,
have
it's like-
kids, you get used to it.
When you have kids, you get
Sleep
used to
for
it.
like 4 years anyways.
Sleep for the first like 4 years anyways, so
it's okay.
you just run on no sleep, so it's okay. You know, I mean,
So the kids always say that
like
they
we used to. The kids always say that they wish that we would like. We used to go to
once in a while.
like the fair every once in a while.
Their dads do that.
But their dads do that. Their dad does that now, just because it's
That's a lot. They don't have time for that. So
that's a lot. They don't have time for that. So their dad does the fun things. I do the mom things. Like I do the parents.
It
So
sounds like you take very good care of. It sounds like you take very good care of them.
I do my best. They're really.
A lot when,
They grew up a lot when me and Scott separated, so we're
pretty much okay on their own.
they're pretty much okay on their own. But I do what I can to
Tell me some of your strengths as a single. Tell me some of your strengths as a single mom.
So I mean, I'm a single mom, so
The bad guy
has to be like the bad guy, but also like the superhero every day.
I think that
My kids have never gone to bed hungry, so thank God for that every night. But other than that,
still work.
so I still work, so I'm not one of those moms who just like sits around and complains all day.
Sounds like you do a lot for them.
I try. Deserve it. Didn't ask for any of it. So.
We have a few more minutes. We have a few more minutes. I'd like to talk with you a little bit more about the drinking, if that's okay.
I guess. I mean, it's not really that important. But yeah.
What would you consider would be excessive? What would you consider would be excessive if you were drinking that much?
I mean, like if I started going to work drunk,
But I don't ever really.
that'd be a problem. But I don't ever really get drunk.
So for
So
you, as long as you're functioning. So for you, as long as you're functioning, then you don't believe
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
a problem.
if I miss work.
yeah, I mean, if I miss work, like that's obviously an issue because I gotta feed my kids. But it's, I don't think it's like a bad thing.
Have you missed work because you've been drinking? Have you missed work because you've been
Only
drinking?
once, but
Only once, but that's because it was my friend's birthday, and we'd gone out that night. But I didn't miss work. I just showed up late, so I could get up, start function, have some coffee. But other than that, there was one time. That's it. I just called in late, and I got there. I lost like 4 hours. I lost like 4 hours. Other than that, it was like that happens like okay. So that happens like every dozen once in a while.
Do you show up to your children's activities? Do you show up to your children's activities after you've been drinking?
It's really no. I think the only time I've ever is like if they have a game and I've gone out to dinner or something. But usually their games are on the weekends and they're all over by like 7. Or like if we're at Fred Elizabeth's like football games or whatever. I'll grab like a beer from the concession stand, but that's like really it.
Okay. Well, Mikayla, it does sound like that you're under pretty significant stress with your family, and I am slightly concerned about the drinking as a coping mechanism. I think that in closing, I'd like to see you maybe every other week if you can fit that into your schedule.
I could try it.
Do you feel like your children are under stress?
I think Derek probably is because his grades are starting to slip, but I know he wants to go to school in the future. He wants to go to college, or at least a trade school. I think he's been talking about. So I think that's it. But Abby and Liz seem pretty okay.
Maybe we can talk with Derek about coming in for some therapy also and see if he thinks he'd benefit.
Yeah, I mean he has. It's crazy. His grades are slipping, but somehow he's still on the decathlon team. So I don't know how that's happening. He has practice a lot for that, but
Okay, some family therapy would be in order too, just to make sure you're all dealing with stress in healthy ways.
yeah, I know. Abby's not the best with therapists, just because we tried having her go when she was younger. She was only like 5 when Scott and I separated. So we tried having them go, and she didn't take too kindly to it, but the other 2 were pretty okay with it. So
We can try it. That's great. I've really enjoyed speaking with you today, and I look forward to our next session. Great, thank you.